Honey Haraware, 10 minutes.
Hono e te mema parimata o takaparafa ki a koe e Joe, tēnā koe. Ki a koe anō hoki e Grant, ke konei, kao. Hakoe kei hea koe e huna ana, e mōhia nau e whakarongo mai ana, tēnā koe. E hoa, koutou anō rā e oku tini whanaunga i haere tāwhiti mai i Orākei, tēnei rā, tēnā koutou. Tēnā koutou, huri atu huri no kia ora tātou katoa. Today is a very special day for Ngāti Whātua ki Orākei. Today is your day. And while normally I'm happy to speak off the cuff whenever I'm out in public, today I refer to my notes because I want to enter into the parliamentary record just a few of the many special memories I will always have of Bastion Point. And Joe said I had to start with the Orākei Māori Action Committee, which happened to have been led by Joe Hawke, Grant, Roger, Mike, Colin, who ran the biggest ever Māori land occupation in our history and had the truly unenviable task of trying to hold together the wildly divergent and often demented ravings of Albanian-aligned communists and Trotskyist socialists and Stalinist hardliners and Mao Zedong fanatics and Christians and atheists and vegans and vegetarians and guys straight out of jail and kids straight out of school and housewives and farmers and Māoris who'd never done anything like this before and Pākehā who'd never worked with Māoris before and all of our brothers and sisters of the Pacific and Aboriginals and Native Americans and musicians and lawyers and singers and actors and labourers and doctors. Such was the ever-changing family of Bastion Point. So those are the guys at the front. And behind the scenes, of course, Patu and Rini and Rachel, who made sure the Action Committee did what they told them to do. Old man Eddie Hawke, who quietly made sure all the real work got done, while the chiefs were pontificating and the young bloods were preening. Auntie Piu Piu, Auntie Hopi and all the kuia who kept us safe. Sharon, Kataraina, Maimeri, Betty Seal and Linda Tanuai, the girls from Eggs who'd come straight to the point, still in their school uniforms. Joanne and her life ended all too soon. John Denver coming up to jam with the locals and all the other bands who gave us joy. Getting blasted every night by Willie Wilson, the little man with the big voice. I was going to say big mouth, but he'd probably hear about it and come bash me. Willie Wilson, a hardline communist back in the day, who's now a preacher for the Lord. And while I'm talking about preachers, Tom Hirangi, the pistol-packing preacher from Tainui, and of course, Matt Tarawa, the singing Mormon who liked to belt out my way, but his way, and was always dragging his poor kids up on the stage to sing and help raise money for the occupation. One of the women coming out of the toilets one night and shining a spotlight on the cops who were trying to call into the camp and screaming at them to F off, and everyone watching these silly policemen scattered down the hill like rabbits, tripping over themselves in the dark and being hounded by the raucous laughter from all the men and dire predictions from all the women. That image of Amarauhihi up on the watchtower with Rangi Toto in the background, Aussie Bob and his push bike generator, David Williams and his incredibly boring legal dissertations. Kia ora, David. Diane Prince, winner of the Bastion Point porridge competition. Dilworth, Sam, Rex, and all the rest of the Rat Patrol for their hilarious nighttime antics, guarding the point and teasing the cops. Tamaiti, Tita Whai Harawira, Sid Jackson, Betty Williams, Dan Mihaka, Eva Rickard. Teachers you couldn't help but learn from, and teachers you didn't dare disagree with. And Tim Shadbolt, what a guy. The man with $1 million smile and 1 million different stories, gallantly defending his niece one dark night and being handed a blade and challenged to fight for his life and her honour. Tim will be forever grateful to Zina Tamanui for stepping in and slapping down her bloodthirsty relations from the north. Kingi Tangira from Karetu, a true bender of reality with so many stories about his life that if you added them all together, he would have had to have been 127 years old. And of course with Zina, the rest of Whakahau, the effervescent, witty and intelligent young Polynesians from Otara, quick with a smile and quicker with a song. Jimmy O'Day, the stubborn Irishman from Kube Street, with an accent and a commitment to justice that have never been bent over the years. Here's one, Sonny Waru, and his kōrero, the tempestuous winds of circumstance. Used to kill me whenever he got up to talk like that. Miratamita in her Day 507 documentary, Doc, never really got to know what his real name was, and that little yap of his Bastian. And I remember on the day of the arrest, Roger fell up on the roof of the whare with his megaphone telling everyone to stay calm. And Bastian running around behind him on the roof, yapping his head off. Marching into town for our court cases with Alec, and having to tell everyone to get off the footpath. We march on the road. Listening to Ben Dalton blister the courtroom with a heavy kōrero in Māori, and laughing at the judge demanding a translation from a shocked and shaking and red-faced translator. What's that? Vapi Kuping it was, who simply could not bring himself to give the true translation and simply stammered, I think he's pleading not guilty, Your Honour. Hone Ka for driving his congregation crazy when he used to let us come and stay at Tātai Hono while the court cases were on. Jamming up the courthouse with hundreds of defendants and hundreds more supporters, and driving the courts mad with our chanting and our singing and our hukas, and forcing them to throw most of the charges out. And I remember standing on the picket line outside Mount Eden Jail to see our brother have to come out because the snoring was driving the whole remand wing crazy. Ngāti Whātua ki Orākei, koutou ko tai mai tēnei rā. You've done so much in such a very short time for so many. And today you carry the hopes and dreams not only for your mokopuna, but for the tens of thousands of urban Māori who look to you for a lead in how to act in Tāmaki Makaurau. On behalf of those who are privileged to be there in support of your stand, on behalf of a generation who are seeking a place in this crazy world, on behalf of the 222 who got arrested on May the 25th, 1978, and those like Hilda and Sharon who got arrested again and again and again in support of the kaupapa, I say thank you. It was through your actions in occupying Bastion Point, the stand you took in reclaiming that place we later came to know as Takaparafa and then Takaparafau, the commitment you made to win back your land and the heavy losses that you sustained, and that nobody else will ever feel as deeply as those of you who call Orākei home. It is from all of that that we drew strength and energy and knowledge and courage to carry the fight for land rights to other places in Aotearoa and to other lands throughout the world. Bastion Point was a haven in the heart of Polynesia's largest city and our classroom in Māori Politics 101. And who can forget Shadbot and his wonderful poem? Hey you who spend 5 minutes voting every 3 years and call it democracy, have you got 5 minutes to spare to hear the story of our home? It's called, and Tim, it was Arohanui. Dismantled out at Wiri, trucked to the point by staunch unionists, and rebuilt as a whare of real warmth and shelter, with all her humble little dwellings around her, a marae that lived and breathed 24 hours a day and sometimes more. Arohanui saw the birth of some, sheltered the pain and joy of many, and provided a final resting place for Joanne. And you, e te whānau o Ngāti Whātua ki Orākei, you gave us a chance to learn and to teach, to challenge and to be challenged, to cop flack and to come back for more, to sing together and to cry together. And today you've come to this house to reclaim a very, very small part of your history. Ngāti Whātua ki Orākei, today, in honour of those who have passed on, and those of you who are left to carry on the struggle, today we thank you, today we honour you, and today we wish you strength for the many years to come. E tikana te kōrero o te waiata. We are the people of the land. Through troubled times we will stand. The sun will shine through cloudy skies and brighten our pathway as we unite for our land. Tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou katoa.